initiating coverage on MIRC Electronics, ticker symbol MRCE Elect. We're diving straight into the fundamental state of the legacy steward behind the iconic Onida brand, analyzing the data as of May 8, 2026. What we're seeing here is a high-stakes operational and financial metamorphosis, coming right on the heels of a prolonged period of market share erosion. In this explainer, we'll unpack the structural changes, the critical balance sheet adjustments, and the forward-looking catalysts that are actively driving this transition. Looking at the underlying data, there's a definitive shift happening in market sentiment. We're talking about a complete recategorization from a distressed legacy player into an active turnaround candidate. Just over the last 48 hours, we've tracked a massive, nearly 30% surge in the stock. It successfully broke out to hit a new 52-week high of 44 rupees and 75 paise. And this technical breakout, which was driven by record trading volumes, is a strong indicator of an institutional accumulation phase kicking off here in May 2026. Make no mistake, this isn't just retail volatility. This is a calculated recalibration by the street regarding exactly how they're valuing the company's newly restructured underlying assets. To really understand this, we need to trace the chronological architecture of this recovery. It's basically our structural roadmap. If we look back at the 2021 to 2023 window, the company was, frankly, in severe operational distress. They were battling global supply chain bottlenecks and intense commodity inflation. Then, fiscal year 24 acted as a crucial, albeit pretty painful, period of operational consolidation. But the real momentum, that builds specifically from late 2025 onwards. We see this aggressive capital restructuring kicking off in August, extending right into October, which is then followed by sweeping leadership changes in March 2026. All of that groundwork has compounded to bring us directly to this current strategic inflection point. And the primary catalyst for that inflection point is a very deliberate structural shift in leadership. Management has strategically pivoted away from historic family-led micromanagement. To actually execute this, the board brought in Gunjan Srivastava as the new CEO. But as an analyst, the absolute key metric to watch here is the alignment mechanism. They approved a grant of 2.95 crore stock options. This specific ESOP structure is no accident. It's designed to mandate long-term operational discipline, intentionally aligning this new professional executive tier directly with long-term shareholder value creation, rather than just chasing short-term seasonal targets. Now that leadership alignment is directly supporting the construction of a brand new manufacturing moat. The Wada and Roki facilities, they aren't operating as simple assembly units anymore. Management has totally upgraded them into fully integrated manufacturing hubs. The core focus rolling off those lines right now is high-growth air conditioners and smart TVs. By localizing and integrating this production, management is directly capitalizing on the Government of India's Production-Linked Incentive, or PLI schemes. And honestly, this is an absolutely critical move to optimize their cost structures in what is an aggressively competitive domestic electronics market. But translating that upgraded manufacturing capacity to the bottom line requires a really strict margin strategy, essentially pruning to grow. Historically, MIRC's top line was heavily bloated by low-margin OEM, or original equipment manufacturer contracts. Sure, they boosted the revenue figures, but they offered zero bottom-line contribution. So management made the tough call to aggressively prune those contracts. Now, the capital and factory capacity are hyper-focused entirely on the Onida-branded business. They're specifically gunning for Tier 2 and Tier 3 market share, strategically leveraging brand nostalgia through premium next-year series Google TVs and high-efficiency inverter ACs. Of course, to effectively execute this pivot toward higher-margin branded products, MIRC needed a severe cleansing of its balance sheets. This late 2025 deleveraging execution kicked off in August 2025, when the company successfully pushed through a 50 crore rupee rights issue. That was then rapidly followed up by a 149.5 crore rupee preferential allotment to marquee investors in October. These capital infusions weren't just sitting around. They were funneled directly into massive debt repayment, wiping out approximately 35 crores in high-cost debt and working capital loans. This kind of targeted capital allocation is exactly what transforms a distressed balance sheet into a highly functional, debt-light platform. And we can see the direct financial result of that rigorous capital restructuring glaringly evident in the Q4 FY26 data. The company is, fundamentally, turning the corner. We're currently analyzing a solid 20% year-over-year revenue growth, but the most critical forward-looking indicator here is the return to actual profitability. Driven by a drastic reduction in finance costs, which we can tie directly back to those late 2025 capital infusions, the company reported a profit after tax of 1.18 crores. Now, while that might seem marginal, this positive PAT is huge. It signifies the end of the liquidity crunch and proves that the unit economics of these newly pruned operations can actually yield net income. All of this data formulates our core bull case, or the re-rating thesis for the equity. Objectively speaking, if the management catalyst, driven by that ESOP alignment, maintains strict operational discipline, and if the PLI-driven domestic integration continues to yield margin expansion, MIRC is positioned for a significant valuation catch-up. As it stands, the company trades at a discount to its peers. The fundamental argument is that sustained profitability beyond just the seasonal peaks could trigger a re-rating toward the sector average price-to-earnings ratio, which currently sits right around 39 times. That institutional volume accumulation we analyzed earlier, it strongly suggests parts of the market are already pricing in this exact normalization. However, any rigorous analysis has to immediately pivot to the bear case to assess the structural vulnerabilities. And they are present. Despite the aggressive debt reduction, there's still a massive systemic overhang active right now, a highly elevated 28.4% promoter pledge. Furthermore, yes, they return to profitability, but those operating margins are razor-thin, sitting at just 0.14% in Q4. That lack of padding heavily exposes the company to raw material input volatility, specifically in copper and aluminum pricing. Finally, the competitive landscape is absolutely brutal out there. They're facing a severe mid-market squeeze from entrenched Chinese brands like Xiaomi and Realme, and now they've got deep-pocketed domestic rivals entering the fray, like Reliance's new Wiser brand. Synthesizing all this fundamental analysis leaves us looking at the architecture of the new MIRC. It's operating right at the intersection of a newly debt-light balance sheet, lean, brand-first operations, and niche Tier 2 and Tier 3 agility. The structural turnaround is mathematically underway. We've seen it validated by the Q4 profitability metrics and recent institutional inflows. But the ultimate test is still forward-looking. Can this newly specialized, lean domestic player actually survive the raw material margin pressures and effectively scale its niche agility against deep-pocketed, heavily capitalized conglomerates in a massive Indian electronics industry that's projected to hit $500 billion by 2030? That is the definitive question the market will be watching over the next 4 quarters.